Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with a truth we often forget. The greatest victories are not won under the spotlight, they are won in silence. Think about it. Seeds grow underground before breaking through the soil, athletes train for years before stepping into the arena, and dreams are built in the quiet hours when no one is watching. Yet today, we live in a world where everyone wants to be seen, to be heard, to prove they are working. But let me ask you this. Is it the noise that makes you successful, or is it the discipline that no one sees? This message is not about talking big, it is about working big. It is about embracing the grind, the unseen hours, the sacrifices you make when nobody claps for you. Because one day the silence will pay off. One day the results will speak louder than anything you could ever say. And when that day comes, you won't have to convince anyone. You will become undeniable. So I invite you to stay with me until the very end of this speech. Not because I want your attention, but because I believe these words can help shift your mindset from chasing noise to embracing silence. If you listen closely, you might discover the key that turns your struggle into strength, your patience into power, and your silent hard work into a legacy the world cannot ignore. This is more than motivation. It is a call to rise, to endure, and to trust the silence that is shaping your greatness. True growth happens in silence because the most powerful transformations are not always visible to the outside world. When a seed is buried deep in the soil, no one sees the roots stretching. No one sees the silent fight it makes against the darkness before it breaks through the surface. In the same way, human growth is often hidden in quiet dedication, long nights of effort, and countless hours of practice when no one is watching. The applause, the recognition, the praise, all of that comes later. What shapes a person's strength, wisdom, and resilience is what happens in the moments of solitude where the struggle is invisible. The silence becomes a classroom where patience, perseverance, and humility are taught without words. It is in silence that people confront their doubts, fears, and weaknesses, and in conquering those battles privately, they emerge stronger in the world outside. There is a misconception that progress is loud, that one must constantly announce their goals, showcase their grind, or prove their worth to others. But in reality, true progress is quiet because it is not done for validation, it is done for transformation. Transformation. Silence strips away distractions and forces focus. When you are not seeking approval, your energy is not wasted on appearances. It is invested fully in the craft, the discipline, the inner work. Man. Growth requires this kind of undisturbed concentration, because the biggest changes are not the ones people can immediately see, but the ones being forged within. Confidence, clarity, skill, and resilience all take time, and they all demand an environment where noise is minimized. The silence of hard work also builds a kind of power that cannot be faked. Anyone can talk about dreams, but only those who consistently labor in the unseen hours truly grow into their potential. The silence carries weight because it means sacrifices are being made, temptations resisted, and persistence maintained without the need for applause. When the results finally surface, they hold a kind of authenticity that words could never deliver. Growth is not about proving to the world that you are working. It is about proving to yourself that you can endure, you can adapt, and you can become more than you were yesterday. That is why true growth happens in silence. It is the quiet force that prepares you for the moment when the world finally sees who you have become. Discipline over noise is the principle that separates those who dream from those who achieve. It means resisting the temptation to prove yourself prematurely, resisting the need to gain validation too soon, and trusting that the process will produce what is necessary. When you let your work mature without rushing to show it, the outcome is always stronger and more authentic. People may doubt you in the silence. They may underestimate you. They may even laugh at you. But results will answer in a way that no explanation ever could. They are your defense, your statement, and your introduction all at once. When you allow results to do the talking, you also earn a different kind of respect. Words demand attention, but results command it. People admire not because you insisted, but because they cannot deny what you have accomplished. This is the power of letting results speak. It removes the need for arguments, comparisons, or explanations. It reminds you that the only real measure of progress is not in how loudly you talk about it, but in what you actually produce. Silent hard work creates results, and those results will echo far louder and longer than any words ever could. Patience and persistence are the twin pillars of silent hard work, and without them, success cannot be sustained. Patience teaches you that everything worth achieving takes time, that seeds planted today will not bear fruit tomorrow, and that rushing the process only leads to shallow results. Persistence teaches you that even when the road is long, when obstacles stand tall, and when progress feels invisible, you must keep moving forward with steady determination. Together, patience and persistence create a force that transforms small, consistent actions into life-changing outcomes. In silence, patience becomes your companion because no one is there to cheer you on, no one is applauding your effort, and no instant rewards are waiting. It is in those quiet hours of work, repetition, and sacrifice that patience reminds you the process is more important than the recognition. So, Tian, it shapes your character to endure slow progress without giving up, to believe in the unseen results, and to trust that every step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. Without patience, people grow frustrated and abandon their journey too soon, trading long-term success for short-term comfort. Persistence, on the other hand, is what keeps you showing up when motivation is gone. It is the refusal to quit even when you feel drained, even when setbacks pile up, and even when failure knocks you down repeatedly. Persistence is built on the belief that consistency will eventually break resistance. Every great achievement in history has been born out of persistence, not sudden bursts of effort, but the repeated decision to continue despite difficulty. It is persistence that separates those who almost make it from those who actually do. Silent hard work thrives on patience and persistence because results rarely appear quickly. The world does not see the hours of practice, the failures, or the struggles, but all of those hidden moments are where patience and persistence are forged. The silent worker understands that time is not an enemy but a teacher, and that progress is not denied to those who keep moving. By combining patience with persistence, you create a mindset that cannot be rushed, distracted, or broken. It is this quiet endurance that allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary success, proving that those who wait, work, and persist in silence will eventually rise when the time is right. Silence builds inner strength because it removes the distractions of the outside world and forces you to face yourself. When you work quietly, without seeking validation or applause, you learn to depend on your own discipline, your own drive, and your own belief. The absence of noise becomes a test of character, showing whether you are truly committed to your goals or only committed when someone is watching. When you are not constantly seeking attention, your growth feels more authentic, and people are drawn to authenticity. They see someone who does not need to shout about success because success itself does the talking. They see someone whose actions carry more value than words ever could. Respect earned this way is not just for what you achieve, but for who you become in the process. Silent hard work shapes not only your results but also your character. And it is this character that earns a level of respect far greater than anything claimed through words or noise. In the end, the power of silent hard work is not about the noise you make along the way, but the strength, discipline, and results you build in the shadows. Growth happens in the quiet places where no one is watching. Discipline carries you further than noise ever could. Results speak louder than promises. Patience and persistence turn struggle into success. Silence builds an inner strength that cannot be shaken. And true respect is earned not by words but by actions. When you embrace the silence, you discover that it is not emptiness. It is the training ground for greatness. Your journey does not need applause at every step. It needs consistency, focus, and faith that your time will come. And when it does, the world will see what silence has been building all along. So keep working when no one is watching, keep pushing when no one is clapping, and keep believing when no one understands. Because one day, your silence will roar louder than any noise ever could. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving your time, and thank you for opening your heart to this message. I wish you strength in your journey, patience in your struggles, and the courage to keep going even when the path is quiet. May your silent hard work lead you to a future brighter than you can imagine. Good luck, and may success find you exactly when you are ready for it.